Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This season I've been on an unforgettable journey up and down the country witnessing some of the greatest players in the Premier League. I've seen 21 games in person, and after these countless matches, electrifying performances, and I've seen some incredible goals along the way as well, I want to select the 22 best players that I've seen in the division this season so far. I'm recording this at the start of February, and I can only select players in my 22 that I've seen in person. I'm going to craft my 11 of the season so far as well. This isn't just a list, it's a celebration of my favourite players and the best players that I've seen in person. I can't select players that I've seen on TV. This is the rules for this video. So I'm going to have a little deep dive. We're going to have a little look at their statistics as well. And I'm going to start with goalkeepers first. So there's two goalkeepers that stand out for me. Going to kick off with England's number one, Jordan Pickford. He's not in my 11 though, but I think he was brilliant when I watched him play. His distribution is outstanding. He got a save percentage of 70.8%. He's prevented 2.53 goals already this season, and he has saved 2 out of 2 penalties that he's faced this season. 223 accurate long balls have started attacks for Everton as well. They play long a lot, and they certainly did under Sean Dyche. I thought he was brilliant when I watched him in the flesh. Really good leader, speaks to his back four a lot, and he does try and organise his team. And he is just a great goalkeeper to watch. I watched his warm-up at St Mary's. It was just ridiculous. Right, my number one goalkeeper, the one I want to put between the sticks, is a man that's kept more clean sheets than anybody in the Premier League right now. Sels at Forest, for me, is the best goalkeeper that I've seen in person. He made some really good saves when I saw him when Southampton travelled to the City ground to take on Nottingham Forest. He made some crucial saves in that game. He's kept 10 clean sheets already this season. That's more than any other goalkeeper. He's got a 73.5% save percentage, and he's prevented 2.39 goals as well. And he is definitely a shot stopper that I highly, highly rate. I really like him. So for me, Sels goes in goal. And he's not the only Nottingham Forest player that's going to make my 11 this season, because there's a couple more coming your way. Right, let's talk about defenders. Tough part of the game, isn't it, being a defender? When I played amateur football, when I was a little bit younger and a little bit more agile, I'd always play right back. So I always like looking at right backs. And there's been some really good right backs I've seen, but I want to go with a back three because I've just seen so many good midfielders. I want to go with a back three, and I'm going to pick the 3 best centre backs that I've seen this season so far. And I'm going to start with a man that used to play for Southampton, the club that I support, Virgil van Dijk. I thought he was brilliant when I watched him play. He's captain. I think he's back to his best this season when I've seen him play. He wins so many of his aerial duels as well. 74.2% so far that he's won. That was before the Merseyside derby. He's made 30, up to that stage, he made 36 interceptions as well. There's no doubt he has to be in my team of the year. I think he will go on and lift the Premier League title with Liverpool. There isn't any doubt about that. And it's really hard not to pick his partner that plays next to him in my side. I think Kanate is brilliant. He's an absolute monster of a defender. One of the best I've seen around. Every time I watch him play, though I want to select on performance-wise what I've seen in person. I thought in person he was really good against Southampton when I saw him play. I think he's a very, very good defender. 75.8% of his aerial duel successes that he's won. He's been a brick wall for Liverpool for some time, and him and Van Dijk between them, God, they are very, very good. But I need to pick one more. I need to put one more defender to put in there, and it's another Forest player, because I've watched Murillo twice. I've watched Forest twice, and he impressed me in both games. I thought the young defender's been rock solid for them. 71.1% of his tackles that he's won. 59% of duels he's won as well. And he's had 24 interceptions in the Premier League so far this season. They have been very, very solid at the back, and it is all built from the goalkeeper and the defender. And that is why I've got Murillo in my team, a young defender, but he is very, very good. Right, I need to look at my bench because I've obviously seen a lot of good defenders this year. Calafiori, I thought Arsenal was brilliant when I watched him play in the flesh at the Emirates. Absolutely superb. And at left back, I will see him again in a couple of days' time. At the time of recording, Southampton play Bournemouth at the weekend, and I think Kirkes for Bournemouth is brilliant. He's one of the best young defenders that I've seen. He makes my squad. Gusto at Chelsea was very, very good. But Calafiori just missed out on my starting 11. I was really, really, really impressed with him. Now we'll look at midfielders, and I have to have an Arsenal player in midfield. As my holding midfielder, there's one man that's really stood out for me in that position this season, and that was Declan Rice. I thought Declan Rice was brilliant when I saw him in person. He's a very, very good player. He's a machine for Arsenal, has been for a long time, breaks up the play, drives the team forward, and he's playing higher up the field now as well. We know how good he is for England on his day. He is brilliant. I really, really like him. I think he's tops. You've got to have him in your side. You have to have him in there. There is no doubt about that. And in midfield, I'm going to have to put Salah in there as well, because obviously he plays from the right predominantly for Liverpool. And Salah, you can't leave the Egyptian king out, can you? 22 goals already, including the goal that he scored in the Merseyside derby. He had 21 before that. 13 assists so far. He's just unbelievable. He's having the season of his life at Liverpool. I'll be gutted if he leaves the Premier League. He's their talisman again. He's going to drive him to the title is Salah. I thought he's brilliant when I watched him in person. Just such a good player. Just the way he drops in, his touch, flicks and moves. He reads the whole game around him. And you can see why everybody loves him so much. He's in my dream team. You can't not have Salah in your dream team this year. He's been that good. He's been absolutely magnificent. Really, really good. Right, another player that I really enjoyed watching in midfield this season. I watched him a couple of weeks ago, and it has to be Sandro Tonali. I thought Tonali in the game at St Mary's a couple of weeks ago, he was nothing short of brilliant. Such a good midfielder. A complete package for me. He was everywhere. He broke up the play. He drove forward. He creates chances for his team, and his stats from that match alone were the story of what he's done all season whenever I've seen him play. He scored the one goal in that game against us, but he was just brilliant. I was so impressed with him. An XG of his expected goals XG for the season so far is 3.12 at this moment in time, and he's constantly getting into dangerous positions. His ability to control the tempo of a game as well is just insane. He's had 22 shots at goal this season as well. 7 of those being on target. He's a consistent threat in their side, but he was really, really good when I watched him in person. Another midfielder that I enjoyed outside of the big clubs was Cunha. I thought Cunha for Wolves was brilliant. The Brazilian forward has been a revelation at Molineux. He's got real flair, but do you know the thing I like about him was his work rate. End products he's working on all the time. He's scoring goals, and he is one of the most exciting players in the Premier League. He's already clocked up 11 goals, 4 assists already in a side that's really, really struggled. He has an XG of 5.20. He's outperforming that as well. His expected shots on target 6.13. He is crucial when it matters for Wolves, and he'd be a big reason why they will have a chance of staying up. I do think he'll help keep him up. He's not just a goal scorer, he's a creator. He's created 38 chances for his team this season so far. 42 successful dribbles. He's brilliant at travelling with the ball as well. He just guides past players. He did when we played him. I thought he was really, really good. You can't leave him out. You cannot leave Cunha out of my side. I thought he was just nothing short of incredible when I watched him play. But a brilliant, brilliant player. And I think he will keep Wolves up. I do think he will help keep Wolves up. There's no doubt about that. Right, I spoke about Tonali. He's in my side. Right, another Forest player, because this man is the best number 10 that I've seen in person this season, was Morgan Gibbs-White. I spoke about him on the channel loads. I spoke about him on Matchday Vlogs. He's been a revelation for Forest this season. 5 goals, 10 assists as well. He was voted the club's player of the season last year, so he had a really, really good season. And he is, he's superb. Really, really good player. And it was tough for me because, I think Cole Palmer's been great as well, and I've got to put him in that midfield as well. I've gone for a really, really flair-like midfield. It's difficult to not put Cole Palmer in it. I know he's off the boil at the moment, but Cole Palmer, he's been good this year. 14 goals, 6 assists, an XG of 12.31. He's been Chelsea's standout player, and his composure in front of goal is brilliant, isn't it? For his age, I think he's going to get better and better as well. I really enjoyed watching him in the flesh at St Mary's. He was the best player on the pitch on the night. There was no doubt about that. So my midfield is made up of Declan Rice, Cole Palmer, Mohamed Salah, Morgan Gibbs-White, Sandro Tonali and Matheus Cunha at Wolverhampton. When I talk about other players that I've seen that play in the midfield position that I really enjoyed, I have to include Tyler Dibbling. I support Southampton, but I thought Tyler Dibbling, when I've seen him play, he's a really good player. One of the best young talents that I've seen in person this year. I've really, really enjoyed him. I thought Elanga at Forest was brilliant when I saw him. He's in my squad in terms of quality players. Semiento down at Bournemouth, I thought he was electrifying on the night we watched him play. Saka at Arsenal's in my squad. He was brilliant against Southampton. The match winner, he's been out injured recently, but he has been since the turn of the year. And I thought he was really good. And Everton's midfielder, Idrissa Gana Gueye, I thought was brilliant against Southampton. His work rate was unreal. I don't think I've seen anybody work quite as hard as him this season. So he's in my squad from Everton. Brilliant, brilliant player. Right, we come on to strikers now. And this was tough because I've seen some great goals this season. I've seen some great players play against us and cause my team so many problems. There's one standout player, but in my squad, I'm going to leave my favourite player, and he's the favourite player that I've seen in the whole of the season till last. But I'm gonna talk about two strikers that really, really impressed me. Chris Wood. I thought he was a handful when I saw him play against us the other week. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And when in person, he's such a big lad. The way he drops off, hold the ball up. He's an old school centre forward. He's having the season of his life, and he's been brilliant for Nottingham Forest. Such a good player. And Mbeumo up front for Brentford. He was brilliant as well. He's in my squad. I've got to include him because I just think he was so good. He's been electrifying for Brentford this season. He's got 14 goals, 3 assists, and his finishing is a nightmare for any defender. He just glides past people. He's absolutely class. Wood, he scored 17 goals this season. What a return. That is so far. 17 already. He's outscoring his XG, which is 10.24. He is now a proven top quality Premier League striker. And who would turn their nose up of having him in your side? But there's one player that I've loved watching this season, and he is brilliant. I've seen him obviously in TV a lot, but in person on the day, Alexander Isak at Newcastle United was absolutely sensational in person, and his movement off the ball was brilliant to watch because you don't see it when you're watching it on TV, but when you're in the ground and you're in person and you're watching a player, the way they move, the way they run off the ball, he was brilliant. 17 goals so far this season, an XG of 14.4. He's outscoring his XG. He's clinical in front of goal, and I think his finishing is world class. He is without doubt the best striker in the Premier League that I've seen. He is the best player that I've seen. Just for his all-round play was brilliant. The way he tracks back, the way he makes Newcastle tick. They're a really good side. They're one of my favourite sides that I've watched in person this season. And Alexander Isak is my striker of the season so far. Wood and Mbeumo, both on the bench as well. Give me your thoughts to my team of the season so far. I know I've left Saka on the bench. He was brilliant, but it was really, really difficult. When you're selecting that midfield that I put in, it was so hard. The one player that I've really wanted to... The team that I've not watched is Villa, so I've not selected any Villa players, but I know Watkins is going to be great to watch. I can't wait to watch Watkins. I'm going to do this video again at the end of the season and do my team of the season at the end of the season in May. I'm really looking forward to him. And Morgan Rogers, when I've seen him on TV, looks such a talent. I can't wait to watch him as well. But that's my team of the season for what I've seen in person. So they're the players that I've seen. Give me your thoughts. Thank you for watching. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do go subscribe to the channel. Smash a like on this video as well. And if you know somebody that may enjoy the content, please do share it with a friend.